Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing tip for Sunday, the 4th of February. Well, it was a good day yesterday for those of you that followed the horse racing. Well, the first horse ran disappointing, just completely stopped. I don't know what happened to it, no cruise yet, but then I thought, here we go, that's like set the marker for the day. But actually, things improved from then. So the next selection, I believe, was War Games. I think it was War Games. It won. I think the best thing that happened for it was the fact that the jockey lost a nine because he kind of stopped racing on it, which gave the horse, in my opinion, a little bit of a breather. Once he got the iron back, it sent to rally, and I think the horse in front, um, I won't say it just idle because a lot of the horses when they idle, they actually rally when the horse comes up to it again. But our horse actually went by it, so it was unfortunate for those at the back. Was it Basher's Reflection, something like that? Nice tip there, Senan. Is it Senan O'Brien? I think it is. But yeah, it would have been a nice forecast between us. But yeah, unfortunate with that selection. On this time, the channel was a bit luckier, but doesn't always work that way. But another selection was Zahanda. I thought it should have won. It absolutely flew at the finish. He just ran it in behind horses, which I think was a tactic. It was the tactic, what in my opinion, was hold it up towards the back, keep running in behind horses, and then basically from the last fly, was switch it out, get stuck into it, and it's got a good turn of foot. However, it did still it flicked to the top of the last hurdle, still running behind, and it hung slightly, but then all of a sudden it just took off. But unfortunately, the relatively easy winner, the Nichols horse, had already got first run and was actually comfortably ahead, but our horse was absolutely flying at the finish, Zahanda. Then we had Dubrovnik Harry. Well, with two to run, I thought the jockey was deliberately like being relatively easy on it. I know he was cajoling it along for quite a way, but it's like it was leaning on horses before before making its final challenge, and it was actually hanging. But I think actually the jockey wasn't really in control. I think the horse he couldn't do much about the horse, but it stayed on well. It was a much better run than it ran previously when I tipped it. I think it was 14-1, something like that. And then we had what I explained was pretty much my nap of the day. I couldn't see how they could kick it out of the places. Was it Java Point? And that one at 10-1. Never really looked like losing. It dropped back a little bit. Not. I just wonder what I never quite understand what jockeys are doing sometimes. Whether he gave it a breather or not, I don't know. But that horse won pretty easy, really. Don't get me wrong. There was a horse flying. Was it generally red? Certainly red. Absolutely flying at the finish, but our horse has already gone. Don't get me wrong. As always, I never quite know where the finish line is at Sandown. I'm like, come on then. Well, yeah, the horse won relatively easily. And then probably the biggest disappointment was having a horse which was 13-2 in the morning. I don't know if it went off at 15-8, but I certainly saw it touch 15-8 from a gambling stable. I expected a better run than that. I'm sure everybody else did, thinking it was guaranteed to at least get a place. Well, it ran pretty much how it had running, how it had been running to get its handicap mark in the first place. Um, let's put it flattered to deceive. I think it was travelling well in behind, then it just found absolutely nothing. So I'm not quite sure what that was all about. But I think AJ Martin is definitely one again to keep an eye on. I think I've kind of worked out what he does now to get his horses ready. It's not too dissimilar to what a Jalot trainer does, but basically it's like running over conditions that they don't want. Running 1 mile 2 horses over 2 miles on the flat, but people thinking that this horse it should stay 2 mile, it should have run well. Well, that's not always the case. 2 mile on the flat is different than 2 mile on over hurdles. It's a long story, but then I also noticed that he ran the horse over 2.5 mile, which I knew it didn't want on soft ground as well. So Zahanda was a decent pick. Unfortunately, I just think Super Bowl just ran flat and disappointed. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on the stable and the Irish horses. So on to Sunday. Well, I'm sorry, but there's only one selection. I've had a flick through, but I'm going to stick to one selection because the reason why I'm having it at Bet365 is because I did actually back Miranmar in the end. It was going okay-ish, and then it just clouted. Was it 3 out, I think? Then it had, well, 4 out. It had no chance after that. It looked like it was still in contention, but then it just weakened quite quickly. I'd say overall that horse, I don't think it didn't run its race in my opinion. Not quite sure why. It was jumping well. She was keeping it out wide. No idea why. So the only selection at Musselburgh is in the 3 o'clock at Musselburgh. So the reason why I've gone for this race, this Bet365 is because I put Miramar as a bet with Bet365, and all you had to do was have a bet at Musselburgh, and you'll get the equivalent as a free bet. So this is a free bet. I would be tempted to put my own money on rather than free bet. So I've had Springwell Bay in the 3 o'clock at Musselburgh. They're paying 4 places at Bet365. It could well be 5 places at Sky Bet. I don't know. I haven't looked because I've no need to, because I haven't got a free bet there. Well, not until Monday. So this horse, I think it wants good to soft. It wants no slower than soft, in my opinion. It's been running really well, and don't get me wrong, not quite sure how many runners are in the race. Let's say there's 14 runners. I can give a chance to at least 10 of them. But I do like this horse. It's the best horse in the race, and I think it's probably ran its worst race for a long time last time, because it didn't want the heavy ground at Cheltenham. Heavy ground at Cheltenham is horrific, and I don't think this horse wants heavy ground. It's been run pretty much all its career on no slower than soft, and generally good to soft. And I think it's currently good to soft. Apparently there's a bit of drizzle at Musselburgh. I don't think it's enough to change the ground, but even if it does to soft, I think it's still got a chance. But I think the ground as it is, which I don't think it's going to change. So I've had Springwell Bay each way. It's currently, you can't see it in the picture, but it's currently, they're offering a super price from 11 to 2 to 6 to 1 with Bet365, and that's for 4 places. So if you can get the equivalent, up to 5 places with Sky Bet, then I'd probably recommend doing that. But let me know if you've got any selections in the comments below. How did you get on? Because I think £12.60 was the stake yesterday for the horses, and it was £36 something back. If you add all my bets, the football and also Miramar, you probably broke even. If you didn't have the football, you had a nice day. But I had the football, obviously, so it was basically a free day. And then obviously I got a free bet today. So so the very best of luck. There'll probably be some selections for Monday. So like and subscribe this video, or subscribe to the channel, and you'll get a notification. If you can do me a favour, could you click the notifications on? I'm not quite sure how to do it. I'm not exactly tech savvy, but I think if you hover over subscribe, I think it gives you some options. So the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.